A very good evening to you all. It's so nice to meet you for the purpose of seeking knowledge at this evening. And it's a great pleasure for us to be the host of this extravagant evening.
So let me come to the point. I think now the youth has a kind of acquaintance about LinkedIn. But it heads me back to the question, is it comprehended by the youth as the other social media platforms? I know the same question is running in your head as well when I say the name LinkedIn.
As we know, LinkedIn is a platform that offers us new opportunities, and it's a space that everyone is trying to create at their best. For that, a better guidance is indispensable. That's why the Leo Club of Uvelas University kept its foot forward for this initiative.
Before switching to the session, I would like to give a brief introduction about our guest today. I am pretty sure his achievement, his knowledge, and his perspectives will guide you to recognize your motto and the career vision. He is an experienced professional who powered his affiliated institute by holding the most crucial designations: Supreme Global Holding Private Limited, Kaya Wellness Resort, Walker SML Group, UTC International, and Deloitte Private Evidence for how inspiring he is. Though the knowledge came from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, Postgraduate Institute of Management, and the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, he kept his foot forward for being a great personality.
His volunteer movements with BNI Global, Toastmasters International, and the Gavel Club of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka are exemplary though.
The several honors and awards awarded from the Toastmaster International depict who he is.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our resource person of the day, the Chief Financial Officer, Arimac Pvt Ltd, Mr. Yogendraprasath Sathiyaseelan. Sir, I kindly invite you to address the audience by giving an introduction to what is LinkedIn and how it creates benefits.
Sure. Thank you very much. Very long, very long introduction, I guess. If anybody was listening to it, I think you would have already been bored about the long introduction. But thank you very much for it. But I have to also say, none of this was given to the two Leos by me, but they got all this information about me from LinkedIn itself. So I think this sets out the most perfect platform for us to build upon. My name is Yogendraprasath. You can call me Yoga. In case you want me to address you in Sinhala, you want to ask a question in Sinhala or Tamil, I can speak in all three languages, so feel free to ask me any questions or send any of your questions on the chat box. I'll be more than happy to have a word with you. Speaking about LinkedIn, it cannot be a one-way discussion, but it has to be a conversation. So feel free to ask me questions. I'm here to help you. If I can help you learn about it a little bit better and interact and become better, I think my job would be done. So I'll give you a quick introduction. We live in a world where every social media platform that was created with the purpose of entertaining has soared. For example, Facebook was the leader, then Instagram came up. Instagram was taken over by Facebook. The same thing happened to WhatsApp. Same thing happened to YouTube. It started as a standalone company. It was taken over by Google because of its great rise. They also say people go in and search YouTube only second to Google. So YouTube is not only an entertainment platform, but is also a platform where we search in order to understand things better. In the same way, the first platform for professionals to interact so that networks can be built, value can be added, is LinkedIn. Let me give you a little more context of why LinkedIn is important. There are about 722 million users, around 200 countries in the world. So double the size of United States, people are actively using LinkedIn. And in our country, any of these professionals would have at least started an account, and most of them, unfortunately, do not follow through or do not use it according to what its capabilities are. So there are a few things that we can discuss today that might help you to create a good profile. Second, if you have created a profile, make it better. Third, build a network through LinkedIn. Within business to business, there are about 80% of all social media related leads for businesses happening through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the primary platform for professionals, for businesses to interact together and create leads. They also say where focus goes, energy flows. So wherever our focus is, our energy flows into it. Have you seen when at the last minute before an exam, when you want to study, you have all the energy in the world to do it, but whereas 1 or 2 weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks prior to that, you didn't even feel like opening a book, but you have all the energy now to do it when it's just 2 hours away. So what it says, what they say is where our focus goes, the energy flows. But when it comes to social media, they say where the attention goes, growth flows. Where the attention goes, growth flows. It's especially true for LinkedIn. If we can get the attention of people around us, stakeholders like recruiters, organizational heads, CEOs, CFOs, COOs, direct company directors, recruiters, HR managers, finance managers, if you have the attention of these people, you will be able to grow because of that attention. How do we create that attention? This is exceptionally important because they say when you have a proper profile picture, that profile picture will garner 14 times more views to your profile, 14 times more. So as we have discussed, attention is key in any social media, whether it's in YouTube, whether people are watching what you are producing, in TikTok, whether people are watching and liking it, whether it's in Facebook, whether people are adding you to their profile, whether your page is growing. In the same way, on LinkedIn, whether people are viewing your profile is the number one question, whether people are viewing. So if people view, if people who can recruit you or partner with you, grow with you, look at your profile, that is the way that you can grow your business, in your profession and succeed. So step number one, have a good profile picture, 400 by 400 pixel. And most of us, one of the problems that we have is we cannot remove the background of an image. I'll show you. We can do it on Canva if you have a professional account. If not, there is a website called remove.bg, and you go here, you upload an image. Let's say I'll select this image. It automatically removes the background and gives me one without a background. And then you download it, right? You can see the original, you can see the removed background. We don't have to go to Canva and pay for it. This is absolutely free. It only takes 10 seconds, you get it done. And then behind this, you can add a design too. You can add a design by putting a background, behind your picture, like what I have done. As you can see, I have a very bright yellow right behind me in my profile picture for the simple reason. When you search for people, let's go to my network and see how people look, right? Let it load, right? So this is how people look. Now, as you can see, not everybody with this profile picture stand out. Now, this is a good profile picture of Praveen Kumar, right? It's visible. As you can see, most of the others have background images which are not clear. Now, this Afridi Maharouf is a good profile picture. It's a plain background. It's him right in front of. But now, this profile picture, while it's good quality, the profile picture at the back, unfortunately, is too disturbed, isn't it? Now, this is a good profile picture of Jerome de Almeida. Very good. But see, Tarindu Vitanagamage, I think it's also disturbed at the back. Now, if you see Nidarshan Suresh Kumar, it's a little too distant, isn't it? But see Dulit Herath, his profile picture is very beautiful. It's perfect at the back. It's clear in the front. So your profile picture should be that. In order to garner attention, use a color that is bright enough so that even if you are being searched, they can always find it. So 3 things. 1, it should be good profile picture, good quality 400 pixel by 400 pixel. Second, you can remove the background in case if you want it at remove.bg or Canva. You remove the background, make sure you're not too distant in the picture, whether that you are visible, you are seen, and it's not a disturbed picture from the background. And if possible, if you want it, you can create a background that is bright enough so that when people are searching, you stand out and people tend to see your profile more. That's about the profile picture. How about the background image? Now, for example, if you see my cover page, this is my favorite quote: "We rise by lifting others." I mention his name. This is created by me. How do I show that it's created by me? I put my name and link on the below, just to show to people that this is me. It's uniquely me, and it's not somebody else's picture. Even if someone else takes it, it goes with mine, and they will have to change that later, right? So first is have a good profile picture. When people have a good profile picture, they know they can immediately trust you, and they know the face of the person, they know whom they are dealing with. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is your about section. Now, also below your name, you can mention what your title is. This is crucial. Now, for example, for university students, you can also mention what your aspirations are. Now, there are people who mention, I'm someone who's trying to build a startup company that will be valued at $1 billion. Possible. When you mention it, whoever is looking at it feels like, okay, this is what you're doing. This is what we should do, right? Brilliant. Next is, we'll go into analytics a little later. Now, the about section. I'll read you what my about section is. Experienced chief financial officer with a demonstrated history of turning around and developing businesses, skilled in corporate strategy, business development, employee engagement, and sustainable business practices. Passionate about advancing a just cause, empowering people, and public speaking. Simple, very simple about section. What I'm saying is what my experiences are, what my qualification is, and what my education is, and what my interests are. Experience, education, interest. When I do this, why I do this is, there are times when we get into a profile without knowing what the profile is, and without an about section, 30% less views on the profile, because we don't want to read more when a person has not even had the about section to talk about them. But about section is not only about, I did this, I did that, I'm a degree holder, I have this professional qualification, I have this experience. No, make it human. Show what you care about. Now, for example, I'm talking about sustainable business practices and employee engagement, and I'm also talking about what I'm passionate about, like advancing a just cause, empowering people, public speaking, so on and so forth. So question is, show your human side also, not only very, very professional, very strict, but also your human side. So talk about what motivates you, what empowers you, what interests you, so on and so forth. The about section should be short so that it has the interest, but detailed enough for people to look at the profile a little further, right? Next is the featured section. On about section, I would like to also tell you, go to jobscan.com, jobscan.co, and here you can find keywords for your profession. Keywords for your profession. What happens is, whenever in LinkedIn there is a job post, how recruiters are searching for them is by searching for keywords. Now, jobscan.co gives you all the keywords that you require. Now in this, it gives 500 automated system keywords for all a lot of jobs. So what you can do is you can pick and choose and put them in your profile, also in your about section. So what happens is you will be selected for that job for interview, or at least for an inquiry. People will visit you because LinkedIn automatically suggests your name for recruitments if you're open for it, based on keywords that they put in. So that's fundamental. Second, I would like to take you through how to write a good about. This picture that I'm showing you is from the book Storyboard. Storyboard is a book about how organizations should tell stories. Now, there was a time in school, remember, whenever people ask, okay, tell us about yourself, what would we say? I'm Yogendraprasath, I'm 10 years old, I come from Mattakulia, I go to Hindu college, and so on and so forth. Very boring, no, almost everyone does it. But as we grow, you would have heard something about the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch is about how you pitch to a stakeholder within 10 to 20 seconds or maximum a minute. When you're going up on elevator, you should be able to say who you are in an interesting manner so that that interest is created. That is what Storyboard teaches us to do. Rather than saying, this is me, I have this degree, that experience, this experience, rather than that, try to use this method the Storyboard suggests. What they say is who you are, Yogendraprasath, or rather, who the person who is reading it is. What the problem they face? You meet me, how it is, what is the plan to solve it? What are the actions to take? And because you accept me part of the team, what is the betterment I can create? Rather than saying, I have this degree, I have this experience, ask them what their problem is and tell them what solution you can give. And maybe you can show what experiences you have in order to solve problems. For example, it could be, for me, if it's I'm into finance, so I could say something like this. I could say, I'm a chartered accountant. In case you have, yeah, Hansika, shall I continue? Yeah, I'm going to continue. In case there is a question, please be kind enough to put it on the chat box. Yeah, thank you. So I can say, I'm a chartered accountant. Do you want an experienced leader to take care of your organization's finances? If that is a problem that you have, I can help because I have done this in these companies for this many years. And I have experience in making sure that these are conducted smoothly so you don't find problems later. It can help your organization grow and succeed. I think that's a better introduction because you now employ the problem solution method. Problem solution. This is the problem, this is the solution. If you have a problem, here is my solution. So use the problem solution method in your about section so that you will be able to create a proper, interesting about section, right? I'm going to stop screen sharing for a while. I just want to know whether there are any questions, please.
Do we have any? Now I think, yes, sir. Okay, now I think you have some brief knowledge about LinkedIn. So now let's see what are the steps and some best practices for creating a professional LinkedIn profile.
Sure. So now let me take you through my profile to show you how LinkedIn now helps you to grow, right? Now, for example, right after the about section, you will see featured. Now, featured section will have what you have done and what you want to show to the world as something that they should see about you. Now, for example, it might be a teamwork that you have done in university or an internship that you have done somewhere. Now, for example, what I have is we conducted a podcast and we have the people who are from different organizations part of the podcast, and I have that as my feature to show credibility as to the fact that how many people I am associated with and I have relationships with, so that I can create trust in those people who are having a look at my profile, right? So that is one. You can put pictures, you can put your CV, you can put anything, any media document, you can put in a video, so that you can create credibility. People will come to your profile and feel like, wow, this is something that I want to be associated with, right? So brilliant. So next step is, I also wrote an article when there was a problem with a company called Kapruka. When I wrote this article, I took both sides and I told about what I think. This you can do also. You don't have to be an experienced professional. You can talk about your profession. Maximum 200, 300 words. You can write in Sinhala, Tamil, English, doesn't matter. So when you do that, people will read it. I'll show you how many people have seen it and how many people have commented on it. Visibility is strength. As I told you, where attention goes, growth flows, right? So whether you create attention is a question that you should always ask. Now, next, as you can see, I created a document mentioning about decision making during a crisis. As you can see, it talks about how we should make decisions and so on and so forth. It's a simple 10-page document. I made this document on Canva and I put it across. I was able to create visibility for myself to show that I am able to create documents. I am able to communicate about an idea, what I know, what I think, right? My perspective towards the world. This you can also do. When you do that, you will have credibility towards you built from this young age. If we are doing this at late 30s, but if you can do it from 25, 26, I think this will be absolutely amazing, right? So create content. Content creation is number one. I'll go to that, but before that, I'll also show you this. If you don't want to create content, you feel like, well, I don't have time, I'm busy, I don't want to create content and so on and so forth. Here is something that you can do. What you can do is you can go and interact on other people's posts. Let's see all activities. What it shows is, now this is an activity where I conducted a training program for Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, and I put that. And as you can see, 85 people saw it and liked it, but that's not it, right? 320 impressions are there, which means at least 3,200 people's eyes have seen this post. What is even more interesting is, now as you can see here, the job descriptions of these people. 102 accountants have seen it, 70 finance managers have seen it, 42 chief executive officers have seen it. So this is the strength. 37 managing directors have seen it. So this is the strength of a single post, right? So question is whether you are willing to post what you do. It could be a simpler group activity, something that you get together and do. I did a Sinhala interview with a friend of mine from Business Advisor on the importance of communication skills. I put it across. There are 6,600 impressions. So this is how you build your brand. Here, as you can see, 76 founders and 69 managing directors have seen it. So what should you do? You should continue to post things so that you will be able to grow, right? And let's say you don't want to do it, you don't have things to do it, you can reshare posts that you like. Now, Madeline Black is someone that I really respect and like. We even did a podcast with her. I did an interview with her. So now, as you can see, I shared her post a speech that she has delivered, and that also has good impressions. I saw somebody else write a book, and I brought that and I shared it with the LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile. So when you celebrate others will celebrate you. So when you show this is your vulnerable side, this is your casual side, this is what I do, right? So if you don't have anything to share, you can always share things about what you do, how you do, or what you like from others' posts, right? They say, now this is one of the interviews that we did. This is with Dr. Ivan Meissner, who is the founder of Business Network International. He's considered to be the father of modern networking. Now, how did we reach here? Because we slowly and steadily built our network. And when I started commenting on his posts, reacting to his posts, he saw, without me adding and trying to get a benefit, I was interacting with him, and then he started interacting. I added him as a friend, and then slowly and steadily, I was able to get him for a podcast of mine. This is the extent to which you can go. He is the founder. He is the founder of Business Network International, which is the biggest networking organization in the world. And he is considered to be the father of modern networking. And we were able to do it. How did we do that? Now, most of the people on network try to sell hard. What they try to do is, the moment you accept their invitation, they try to send you a request saying, okay, these things, this is what I sell. Can I give you an insurance package? Can I do this? Can you give me a sponsorship? That is not how it works. It should never work like that. What you should do instead is go to their profiles. If you like Dr. Ivan Meissner, or I like Gary Vee. Gary Vee is a motivational speaker and also is into digital marketing. So what I do is I go to their profile, I interact with them. When they send a profile, share a picture, I'm interacting with them, saying what I think about it. I'm liking it, I'm sharing it, and so on and so forth. So you build a connection. After the connection comes being friends, being part of the network, and then comes you giving value to them, them giving value to you. Most of the time, what happens is, immediately right after you get a message, you get a network request, we join, and immediately, if people ask for something, there is no network building, right? You lose the person immediately. So rather than that, comment, interact, make sure that you have a relationship with the person, you build a relationship with the person so that you can build a network for your future, right? So that is what you can do. Either you can create content. What are the content you can create? You can write an article, you can share pictures, you can go LinkedIn Live and interview people, you can do all of that. Let's say you don't want to create content. Then what you can do is, you can share articles, you can share pictures, you can share about your friends succeeding, you can share about what you're doing at the university, you can share about what the Leo Club is up to, all of it. You celebrate others, give value to others. Number one element of LinkedIn is whether you are willing to add value. If you don't add value, what happens is, you're just there for the job, just there for the sponsorship, just there for the networking, not enough. The only way you can succeed is if you add value to others. They will find your value addition important, and they will consider you important. They will consider you important for their growth, their existence. That is when you become strong networker. Then you can ask for what you want. Gary Vee says, give 3 times and then ask. Give 3 times and then ask. So that is what you should try to do, emulate in LinkedIn also. As much as possible, give. Celebrate others, share things that are important, share things that you think is important to you so that you want to share it with others, share a birthday, share a celebration, share a job inquiry, all of it. Then what happens is, others will start celebrating you. You go to a post that a person let's say you like Otara. You go to her Otara's page, whenever she shares something, interact with it, ask questions, comment on it. Then slowly and steadily, you add value. You become a thought leader in your industry, even while in university. That is what can happen, right? Let me quickly now take you through. I'm going to come back to this a little later, but I'll quickly now take you through what to write in your experience. I'll give you one bad example and one good example, right? Now, for example, these are the two latest jobs I have had. One is Chief Financial Officer of Arimac, Group Chief Financial Officer of Supreme Global Holdings. Now, if you try to click on this role, there is nothing else. You don't know what Arimac is, you don't know what I have done, nothing, right? This is a bad profile. This is a bad experience because you're not saying what to expect. But now let's come to Supreme Global Holdings, Group Chief Financial Officer, and I immediately mention what the company is. Supreme Global Holdings is an emerging corporate which has established. So I talk about what the company is. Next, very important, I talk about my significant achievements. I talk about my significant achievements. Why I talk about significant achievements is when you say, when I talk about what I have done, now, for example, I say, evaluated investment opportunities worth over 5 billion and how overseen investment in companies over 1.6 billion over the past 5 years. What does this mean? I'm telling people that this is my ability. This is my capability. Led the team to win the best residential high-rise development in Sri Lanka award at the Asia Pacific Property Awards. What do I show to people? I show to people that this is what I'm capable of. Significant achievements. Most of the people make the mistake of putting what their job description. I do this, I do that, I sign checks, I do bank reconciliation. It doesn't matter. Don't say what you do, rather say what you have achieved in your experience section. This is fundamental, right? Everywhere I go, I mention my significant achievements. So anybody who is interested in this experience can come here and read about the significant achievements to judge me immediately, right? And then if the experience is too far away, too long, you don't have to actually mention all the details. Now, for example, I don't have details for what I work, where I worked 15 years ago. It doesn't have, but immediate ones, I always have details so that anybody who wants to see what my latest achievements are, they can see it, right? Next is education. Whether it's small, whether it's big, always mention all your educational achievements. You can mention about what activities and societies you were there. Some of you are part of the Leo Club. Brilliant. What did you do? What your achievements are? How did you score? And so on and so forth, right? Next is volunteering experience. Now, most of you will be volunteers in one organization or other. Now, I was the president of a BNI chapter. I'm a Toastmasters area governor. I also mentor CA students Gavel Club. So what happens is when you show this, people will feel like, okay, you are not only somebody who works and goes back home and or maybe studies and then comes back to the university. No, you're also someone who studies, who works, and who also does other things. So you know how to work with people. You know how to add value. You know how to do something together. You know how to achieve something together. Then people will be more interested in getting to know you better or giving you an opportunity. That is something very important. Next is LinkedIn will always suggest you skills based on the job title. This happens automatically, right? Now we will see what are the skills that have been registered under my name. Now, for example, for auditing, because I was with an audit firm for 11 years, my auditing endorsement stands at 90 people have endorsed me for auditing. But what is the way to do it? You don't go and ask people to do it for you. No. If you know somebody, you go and endorse them. You go click on their endorsements and endorse them. What happens is then they will come back and endorse you. The more you add value to others, others will add value to you. Don't do it with that expectation that they will endorse you, but do it with the right reason to, because you want to endorse somebody and help somebody become better, right? Next is recommendations. Recommendations are crucial. Whenever you do, whether it's a program in university, whether it's a volunteering experience in the university, or whether it's at work, whether it's at social events, always try to add them on LinkedIn and try to get a recommendation for them, not only for work, not only for education, but also social societies and stuff like that. The reason why you should have, now, for example, I have 6 recommendations, and you can see all the recommendations I have given also. I have given 13 recommendations and I have received 6 because I add value to others, others add value to me. Why it is important is, now in your CV, people ask, who are your non-related referees? One of the greatest strengths of having a recommendation is, without talking to your referees, people will know that they have already recommended you. They know how others think about it. So this is very crucial. So you can send people a request to send you a recommendation, and they will always write one for you. If you have honors and awards, if you have done very well in LinkedIn, you can do this also. Get the honors and awards and mention where did you receive it and what is the impact you created. Now I'm saying Distinguished Toastmaster Award is the highest honor in Toastmasters. It's the highest award you can achieve. And through that, I was able to speak and help others, like what I'm doing today, right? I communicate and help others. What are my languages? And now this. See the interests. Who are the people I'm following? Now, Gary Vaynerchuk, I follow. Ali Miller, I follow. So whatever they share, I'm able to now interact with, learn from them, share with my friends, and so on and so forth. So search for people. Now, for example, let's say, who can I search for? Let's say Harsha. Now, Harsha D. Silva is our minister. If you want, we can go follow him to know what he is doing. Let's say Damika Pereira is the person you feel like. You can go to his official account, follow him. Don't send him a friend request. Don't ask for a job. Follow him, interact with him. Appreciate what he does good, question what he doesn't do good, ask questions, speak about it, share it. Then what happens is the person who is managing the page will try to interact with you, and they will be softer towards you rather than not. So I recommend you follow people, interact with them, right? Before I go into jobs, messaging and notifications, I would now stop for a while, and I'll ask you whether there are any questions. Please put it on the chat box. If there is any questions, I would like to help you if you have any questions, please. I gave you a brief idea of how to create a LinkedIn profile and how to interact with people, how to share what you think, how to interact with people, and also how through content creation you can make a major difference, right? So these are the things that we have touched upon. Do you have any questions for me to touch upon? That something that was not clear? Anything? Do we have any questions?
So up to now, it's perfectly clear, sir. So can you elaborate how we can use LinkedIn when finding job opportunities?
Brilliant. So that's the area that I wanted to take you through. So let me now share my screen again, and I'll take you to the LinkedIn page. And we will now go to the job section, right? The job section, if you see, it's on, you go to home page. You can, right after your network, it's the jobs, right? You click the jobs. You can see all the jobs in the world, Now, for example, let's say in Sri Lanka, suggest me a job that I should search for. Anybody? Can you put on the chat box what kind of a job I should search for? Or somebody unmute and tell me.
Business analyst.
Business analyst. Brilliant. Let's search for a business analyst. Now this will show business analyst from Colombo in Sri Lanka. Now there are all these things that you can make, all these filters to make sure that you are getting the right thing. Usually what I do is, I make sure it's the past week. Now, as you saw, past month, there are about 234 results. Most of the time, all these jobs are filled. So let's go for past week. There are 92 results of all of these jobs. Data collector, senior internal auditor, senior business analyst. Let's look for senior business analyst at this company, right? So they say Westoria. If you want to know what Westoria is, you can click open in a new tab and see what this company is. And while that loads, we can see, oh, this person is the person who is recruiting. Maybe we can add her so that we will have somebody to recommend us. Now, this is very important. We have to read this very carefully to see what are the keywords. Let's say this is your dream job. If this is your dream job, what you should do is search for the keywords. Now, let's say these people are saying you need experience in using Jira as a software. And in your CV, you are mentioning you are using Jira at work, you have experience, you have studied that in the university, but you don't mention the name Jira. You say project management software. Then what happens is the system, automatic system you will not be the priority because you don't have the keyword. What you should do is every time you get a candidate profile from a job, you read it, you re-amend the CV if that is how much it is important. When you change it, you will be able to see what the differences are and how important it is, so on and so forth, right? And then the system will match what is asked and what you have said. If it's a match, it will always take you to the next round. That is something that you have to do, right? So now you go down, you look at the company, we open the company's name, you look at it. There are 3 people from my school who work here. There are about 134 employees. You learn about the company. There will be the website. You can also click the website. In the about section, the website will be there. You can go to the website. You can know the people. More important than that is, now let's say you're going to apply for this job. You go see who the people are. How to see it? Go to the people section, go to the people, go see who these people are. Now it will give you all the people who are working there. Product support engineer, there is specialist, software engineers, there is senior QA, all of these people who are working here. Now what should you do? The technical lead, analytics. So what should you do? If you know someone from here, you can add them, or you go to the posts of this company and you can interact with them. So see, every company has some posts. So all of these, you can now interact, you can speak to them, and then you can also add these people, you can speak to them. Never ever ask for a job or ask for a recommendation from people you don't know. Even if you had one of these, let's say the CEO's name is there, or the HR manager's name is there, never ever add them and ask for a job. What you can do is you can add them and you can showcase what your skills are. on your profile. If your profile is strong, if you're creating content, if you're showing that this is my deep knowledge about the subject on your profile, that's why I repeatedly said, create content, tell us about what you do. Then people will be able to see, and especially your roles, business analysts, software engineers, you have a lot of opportunities. So what happens is people will come to you rather than you going to them, right? So that is something that you can do. Interact with people, add people, speak to them, interact with these posts, ask questions. Now, this is a post they are saying 5 key statistics. What can we do? So then you go ahead, you speak to them, and so on and so forth. Right now, there is a webinar happening. You join the webinar and see. So all of these things you can do if this is a job that you really need. So go apply to the job. You can go click easy apply. Here is my resume. I upload it. I submit the application. As simple as that. You put the details. You put your resume. You submit the application. The application will be on its way. Something that you, if you're really urgently looking for a job, you can look at the past 24 hours and you apply fast. Now, as you can see, there are 2 jobs that had been advertised in the last 2 hours. There is a new job vacancy for an associate business analytics at this company. You immediately apply for it if this is something that you wanted. So the quicker you apply, the more chances you have. The later you apply, lesser chances they have, because the system will be operating throughout to select the best candidates. Second, if it is an HR manager, if it's a small company, they will be looking at it and they will pick the first ones that are applied, right? So, but why should we limit ourselves to Sri Lanka? Why don't we look at a different country? Let's see Maldives. Let's search for, let's say, past week. Maldives is not very famous for business analysts, I guess. So let's say go for India. Let's go for Dubai. Look at how many jobs are there, right? So all of these jobs we can apply now from here rather than going to different websites for different countries, right? Only thing that you have to remember is you add value. Through your value, you get selected. If your profile is strong, if your content creation is strong, if you are putting out who you are out to the world will come to you rather than you having to go after people. Is that clear? I hope it's clear, right? So this is how you apply for jobs. When you apply for jobs, they will come see your profile. If your profile is impressive, brilliant. One of the next mistakes people make is in their profile, there are the contact details are not correct. The phone number that is mentioned is incorrect, or they are in a different country, they mention a different country. Now, for example, when you're applying for a job in Dubai, there are some roles that say you should not apply if you're not in Dubai. If you apply from Sri Lanka, they will not even consider you. And there are jobs in which you are actually in Dubai, you are mentioning Sri Lanka. Or your email address is incorrect. Or worst yet, there are spelling mistakes on your profile. These are things that you should truly be vigilant and be careful about. When you create a profile that is strong, when you create content and tell the world what you are, who your friends are, what you do, what you have achieved, then that is how you create a circle within which people will know about you, and you continue to build that network day by day. So people will reach out to you in order for you to be recruited, in order for you to be taken in order to know more about you. I think what a beautiful place to be in, isn't it? This is brand building 101, a beautiful platform where it's absolutely free to build your brand, to apply for jobs, to reach out to people, interact with people, If people are putting out, what is their requirement? Within first hour or so, they want people to interact. If you are somebody who is interacting, if you are somebody who is continuously talking about what you do at work, even if you make mistakes, you continue to do it, then you will become a thought leader in what you do. As I said, I repeat, where focus goes, energy flows. Where attention goes, growth flows. Create attention towards you so people believe that you are somebody who is successful, and more success will come to you. That's all I have for you this evening. I'm free to share with you any of the questions that you have. And if you have any questions, whether it's in Sinhala or Tamil or in English, please feel free to ask me. I'm here to help you and support you.
Sir, your experiences are most valuable for us to build up our future as a students. So I would like to know importance of maintaining a LinkedIn profile for a student who does higher education.
Yes. Now, very good question. Thank you. Most of the people think this is only for people who have a job, who has got a job. Not at all, right? For students, it's very important so that you will be able to build connections from now on for what you can expect later. Now, when I joined many years later after I started my job. But what if you can start from now, build your connections? Now, one of the greatest strengths you have as university students is your friends in university. But what if you can reach out to other university students? What if you can reach out to business analysts or engineers or doctors or chartered accountants in other universities, other countries? That will be brilliant, beautiful, isn't it? So what we should think, what we should know, what we should, the most important foundation we should have is brand building is key, creating attention is key, having the energy and focus to create attention to us and people around us and what we do is key. So what you should do is make sure that we always ask, have a profile, share about what you're doing. Now, for example, organizing this event, you have brought in around 60, 70 people. You're doing this for the benefit of everyone. Absolutely amazing, right? All of you who participated. Now, for example, let's say you are one of the people who are creating this event. You're part of the team. Share saying that you have created this event. Let's say you're a participant. Share saying, I participated in this event. Then what happens is you're creating content to say that this is what I'm learning about. This is what I'm doing. I'm sure this will take you a lot further than people thinking that can take us. It's not only important for all of us to create a profile when we get a job, but also from now on as a student, so that you will be able to expand your network from a young age. They say your network is your net worth. Your network, the people you know, is equal to your net worth. How much you earn, how much you succeed will depend on how many people you know. So start doing it from now on so that you will become a force to be reckoned with. You will be so successful that you will be someone who people love to interact with. People already know who you are. And it's crucial for you to start from now on. Any other questions?
Yes, as you mentioned, it was a great incentive for us to start our own LinkedIn profiles as students. So my next question is, what are the tips and tactics for engaging with the content on LinkedIn, such as liking, commenting, and sharing?
Yes. Now, one of the easiest things you can do is to share them, is to speak about them, is to comment on it, is to reply to those questions. Now, for example, let's go to LinkedIn back again. Let's let me take you. I'll share you the screen. How much time do we have? May I know how long we are planning to take this forward?
It's about another half an hour.
Sure, no problem. It will depend on the questions people ask. I think that's what it is, right? So now, for example, let's go to someone, Otar, or yes, or we will go for a page. Who can we follow? We will go to Gary Vaynerchuk's page. This is one of the pages that I follow, that I really like what he does. Now, for example, there are posts, videos, comments, and everything, right? Now, this is a post that he has shared. He's saying, for me, enough in business is waking up and playing the game, not whether I will win it or not. Right? For me, enough in business is waking up and playing the game, not whether I win it or not. You can simply go, if you like it, you like it. Why don't you comment on it? I'll comment on it saying, I just commented on a post, and maybe we can even share it, we can comment on it, we can send it to someone. I like this post, so let me send it to my wife. Right? So now what happens is you are now interacting with that content. I'm saying something to people. There is somebody who's saying that regarding pessimism, it sounded loudly true that negative thinking can impede progress and limit one's potential for success. I like it. I can say I agree. It's as simple as that. I'm just saying I agree. I like the way you said it, right? Simple as that. You interact with people. Now, in his post, in Gary Vaynerchuk's post, you are now continuously interacting. This doesn't have to be Gary Vaynerchuk. This can be somebody that you like, somebody that you speak to, somebody is a recruiter. You can go out there, you can appreciate people. For example, in the notifications, I see, now, for example, as you see, there are 2 people who are starting new positions. I can go and comment on it. So this is how you can simply say congratulations. Right? As simple as that. All what you have to do is allocate time to make sure that you interact with people, you speak to people, you show what you do, as I have done. Interacting with people by commenting, by sharing, by liking, by asking questions with each other. If you have a different opinion, you share that. Then what happens is usually we don't have the reach. There are people who actually respond to you, especially when you are a student. Use that. That experience will teach you a lot. Yeah, I hope I answered that question. Anything else? Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So next I would like to know, how can you measure the effectiveness of your LinkedIn effort, and what metrics should you pay attention to?
Right. So now there are enough and more metrics, but I'll tell you, don't take it as a, don't make it something that you measure and you have to win, you have to succeed. No need. All what I will say to you is continue to work on sharing and commenting and creating content and having a good profile. Whatever you want will happen. One of the profile, one of the things that I really like to measure, but I don't want to see it a lot, is how many profile views do we have. For the last 8 months, I did not use my LinkedIn very effectively. But I can now slowly see that my profile views are going up. Why? Because I'm interacting with people. But while doing that, I don't consider about how many people are looking at my profile. I don't care. I don't care at all, because my objective is to create a long-term success. I'm not interested in the short-term metric. Even though there are metrics like how many people viewed your profile, how many people liked your articles. Now I showed you how many on my impressions. Now, for example, the last post that I had, there are about 3,200 views. In this interview has about 6,600 uh, impressions on LinkedIn, and this has now on YouTube has about 22,000 views. So why that is because I was able to create that impression from LinkedIn to YouTube, right? So my suggestion to you is continue to do that, but don't ever define you based on a metric. Your success is not defined based on a metric. For some people, you will get a job on 7 days, some people 7 years. It doesn't matter. Continue to build your brand, and that's the way to move forward and succeed. That's the only way to succeed. That's the way that we can do this, right? So my suggestion to you is continue to do this. By doing this, you will be able to actually grow and succeed. Don't ever worry about the metrics. Just continue to build your brand. Any other questions?
Yes, there's one more question. So nowadays, scams are everywhere in social media. So is there any chance of deceiving to the scams through LinkedIn? And if so, how can we avoid them?
Yes. Now, I'll tell you my experience. 2 weeks ago, somebody offered me a job on LinkedIn. And when I researched about it, I learned that this is a fake job. They just wanted my contact details for an insurance company to give me an insurance policy. So there are things like that happening. And then there are people trying to make you rich. All of a sudden, in 2 weeks, you're the richest man in the university. For me, I would say there is no free lunch. Nobody in this world will ever give you anything free. For every little thing, you will have to work really hard in order to succeed. So if that is so, it doesn't matter what is offered, whether it's Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, pyramid schemes, none of it matters. What matters is when you get some information from it, you always research it. If you don't know, ask something from others. If something is, you can't believe something, it is truly unbelievable. You don't trust it because your heart says it's unbelievable. Don't. Nobody is going to make you a billionaire overnight. It is your responsibility to become that. Don't think there are easy ways to succeed, easy ways to grow in your job. There isn't. The only way to do it is if somebody is trying to get you a job, by getting money from you, don't accept it. Don't go for it. Somebody says, okay, I'll take you to Canada. You don't need IELTS. You don't need a degree. Don't drop your degree and go. No need. No need to take these risks because you have to believe in the goodness in the world. You have to believe in yourself. Don't think there is free lunch and there is the success is easy. Don't, because only way to succeed is working hard, nothing else. So if there are scams, don't trust them. You don't feed them. Don't share with others. If you feel like you can't trust it, don't even take a step towards it. If someone messages you asking for your bank details, don't. If they say something that you can't believe, never ever take a step towards it. Always believe in hard work to grow. As smartest people of this country, you are one of the quite a number. I think we have about 50 people now. Out of these 50, you are the cream of this country. You should be able to believe, trust hard work, and make a difference in the world. Never ever fall for any scams that people might be putting towards you in order to deceive you for their own benefits. Happens in LinkedIn enough and more times. The only way to avoid it is to never believe in something that sounds unbelievable. Huh? Anything else? Any other questions? Or can I have some feedback on the event on the chat box, please? If you have been here for the last 1 hour and 15 minutes, if anybody wants to say what it is, what did you think about the session, please be kind enough to comment so that we will also know what to do with it, right? All right. Anything else?
Sir, can you recommend some free courses sites for us?
What sites?
Free course sites.
Oh, brilliant. One of the best sites, I'll share my screen. One of the best sites is LinkedIn Learning itself. LinkedIn Learning itself. I'll show you now. Let's say you want to study about something. You can go to LinkedIn Learning and you can study any course. There is a free 30-day free trial. You can start your free month. You can have any course. You can search for any course and you can study. Let's say you want to study about spoken English. I'm just saying, yeah? Practice language every day, grammar foundations, public speaking for non-native English speakers, small talk for non-native English speakers. Now, for example, let's say you want to learn about Excel, Microsoft Excel. There is Excel weekly tips, Excel essential training. You can have this for 1 month for free and study as much as possible. And if you want it later, then you can maybe buy it or not, but that's later. But for 1 full month, every day you can study for this for free. But I also recommend, beyond LinkedIn, I also recommend you going to websites like, they are called MOOC websites, right? MOOC. So MOOC, free MOOC websites. Now, for example, you can go to websites like mooc.org, or you can go to Coursera, you can go to, yeah, this is my favorite website to study anything. So I can go and search for any subject. Let's say English. All of these courses you can study for free. And look at this, right? This course is not conducted by some small person. This course is conducted by the University of London, and it is free. And if you want a certificate, you can even get a certificate by paying an amount. See, the course is by University of London. Can we imagine that this can be for free? But this is not only for English. This course can be for anything. Let's say accounting. Introduction to Financial Accounting, University of Pennsylvania. University of Pennsylvania, Introduction to Financial Accounting, University of Virginia. All of this, most of this is free of charge. You can study about anything, whether you need, let's say, somebody asked about business analysis. Let's say project management. Any of this is absolutely free. Education is now free. The only question is whether we are willing. Now, all these courses are by Google in themselves. Google Project Management, Foundations of Project Management, Agile Project Management, University of Colorado, all of this. Now, imagine a Sri Lankan studying those Bulldoze layers in a university in Pennsylvania or London. How much costly it would be? Now it's for free. You can only pay for the certificate after the completion and get the certificate. So this is what is available in the world. This website is called Coursera, C-O-U-R-S-C-R-A, Coursera. So you can consider having a look at it and studying from it too. Or YouTube itself, it's a good website for us to study. So yeah, so I wish you the best on that. Any other questions, please?
Sir, I have another one question. So if we have more and more connections on our LinkedIn account, so is it an reason to increase the impression amount for a post in my account?
What is that? Sorry.
If we have more and more connections on our LinkedIn accounts, so it is a reason to increase the impressions amount for a post.
How to increase the impressions, is it?
Yeah.
So the way to increase your impressions is never by pushing it, never by asking people to view it. No, there is nothing that can touch organic growth. If you create something, people are looking at it, people are happy to look at it. I think that is the way to grow and succeed. It's never by pushing it, never by making others feel like, oh, we are being too pushy. No, you continue to build your profile. Now, for example, there was a time when I had about 100 people in my network, but it doesn't matter whether you have 100 people or whether you have 100,000 people. Now I have about 4,000, 5,000 people in my network, but there are people who have 20,000 people. It doesn't matter whether irrespective of what the number is, you can always create organically views and impressions. Don't think the best way to do it is by improving your impressions. It's not. Don't ever think that. The only way to do it is by way of slowly and steadily, consistently taking one step towards building your brand. How should a person who is in your network know about you? Tell them what you know. Now, most of you are very successful students. Tell us about what you think, what you know, what you study. So we will also learn about it. Explain it in a simple manner. Slowly build it. It doesn't matter whether 100 people see it or 100,000 people see it. It does not. Consistency is key. Seth Godin, an author, did something great. Every single day for 4 to 5 years, he was writing a blog of 200, 300 words every single day. And then now, 18 of his books are bestsellers. So it doesn't matter. One of your posts take 20,000 views. Next post becomes 5 views. Does not matter. What matters is whether you are willing to consistently do it. If you do it consistently, you will succeed. Don't ever think the world will end tomorrow or next year. The world will be there till you are 80. So build every single day so that you have consistency throughout in order for you to succeed. Rome was never built in one day. Your profile will never build in one day. Your network will never be built in one day, but it will be small changes that you make that will allow you to achieve something greater and amazing. One day, one of you can become Seth Godin. Why not? But every single day, consistently try to achieve something great. Yeah. I think it's almost, we have taken a lot of time today. If there are no questions, I think we could conclude, isn't it?
Yes, seems like there are no more questions further. So Lasanga, it's over to you.
So guys, thank you, sir. First, thank you, sir. Then, so guys, we have reached to the very end of today's session, and we hope that you have spent a productive time together. Therefore, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Yogendraprasath Sathiyaseelan on behalf of the Leo Club of Pvt Ltd University for equipping us with your valuable knowledge and insights.
And we really appreciate your effort given for achieving our objectives amidst a busy schedule. Once again, thank you, sir, for everything. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining your hands for making this program a success. So we are officially signing out here. Good night, all.